This is the Khoodeelaar television channel broadcasting under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo, Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto edition of the This is also probably the last Ramadan of this year, and tomorrow hopefully is the Eid al-Fitr. This edition will focus on the Dirty Digger Rupert Murdoch Scum newspaper, and especially on this editorial, so-called, the Scum says, page 10, headed Home Run. And it makes the claim, which is absolutely incredible, that is incredible because the Scum is produced for morons, brainwashed morons and zombies, and is edited by criminals. It says, there is the Scum, yeah? Just about. And it says, why is Keir Starmer so incurious about Angela Rayner's strange behavior? His blithe acceptance of her word flies in the face of the evidence made public so far. As a former director of public prosecutions, you'd expect his legal brain, I'll stress that, you'd expect his legal brain to thoroughly interrogate the evidence against two-pads Angie. Instead, he says he has handed over responsibility for quizzing Rayner to his team. Is the man who wants to be Prime Minister really so relaxed about his deputy potentially breaking the law and then possibly lying about it? Now, let's go back to this legal brain and the connection, correlation it makes to the expectation that Starmer would thoroughly interrogate the evidence against two-pads Angela Rayner. When I encountered what is now the University of Law in London, one of the lecturers in law in the 1980s about the philosophy underlying the legal projects. This lecturer told me that to be a successful, effective lawyer, it was necessary not to interrogate, not to question things. Now, I'm fasting, so I cannot swear, but I am feeling very offended by this dirty digger scum's idiocies. Law schools across England, and I suppose across the United States, and the other rest of the imperialist Anglo-Saxon English law-based programs, are there to train morons to be morons and liars and deniers. As I have said many times, when I met Tom Denning, the overhyped British judge, Lord Denning, as he was called, I met him at Chancery Lane when he was flogging his book, signing his book, Discipline of Law. I was surprised to find that his brain, his legal brain, was quite active, not legally active, but in terms of memory, he was very active. When I said I came from Bangladesh, he instantly replied, East Pakistan. Now, in 1963, when I was in East Pakistan, I think he visited Dhaka, or he's just then launched Denning inquiry into the perfumer scandal, had been covered by a publication called The Detective. And I avidly read all the contents of the detective reports on Denning's committee. Now, when Denning actually gave his report to the government, the conservative government, he lied. He really lied, and he framed Stephen Ward. He blamed Stephen Ward for the whole scandal. And he shifted the blame. And he suppressed the evidence that was presented to him during the so-called inquiry. So where do the morons and the scum get this idiocies? As a former director of public prosecutions, you would expect his legal brain. There is no such thing as legal brain, you morons. What there is a policy based on lying and denial. We go back to the Baby Angel Geronimo platform and manifesto. When Helen MacDonald from South Gloucestershire, Baby Angel Geronimo's mom, when she sought remedy and a vindication for the truth of the Baby Angel Geronimo's health through the courts, as many as three judges sitting as High Court judges behaved as zombies, as stooges, as liars, briefed to act as rubber stamps for the criminals at DEFRA. The criminals at DEFRA had conspired. The criminals at DEFRA had conspired to malign, to defame, to lie about Helen MacDonald, and to question her integrity, to question her own expertise as a trained veterinary nurse. And they said, evidence. Griffiths, the judge, the last one on the 29th of July 2021, this criminal said that the Secretary of State was entitled to ignore the evidence. The Secretary of State was entitled to ignore the evidence and condemn the perfectly healthy Baby Angel Geronimo to be murdered. So the dirty digger Murdoch doesn't have basic intelligence, basic knowledge, basic familiarity with truth and truthfulness. So I go on to read the rest of this editorial that is designed to further malign Angela Rayner. It says, is the man who wants to be prime minister really so relaxed about his deputy potentially breaking the law and then possibly lying about it? Until Rayner publicly lays out the full facts of her case, we cannot know if she is innocent of doing both. Back in February, she said she was living at her own ex-council house prior to selling it in 2015. Now she admits she was also living at another property with her husband. So how can her first statement be true? Failing to show the kind of honesty and integrity she has demanded of her political opponents, Rayner has repeatedly tried to play the victim. But this lingering story is now fast becoming a question of her character and Starmer's judgment. At a time when the Shadow Health Secretary is assuming a massive general election win, Labour is risking adding hypocrisy to arrogance. Voters hate being taken for granted. They like being taken for fool. They like being taken for fools even less. Now, this snide reference promoting West streeting the criminal as the shadow health secretary is a reflection of the policy that Murdoch is actually pursuing to overhype streeting. Because in today's Times newspaper, West streeting is given yet another fast leader opinion platform promoting him. The last one about a fortnight ago, or within the last fortnight, compared him with the Christian reformer, Luther of Germany, Martin Luther. Can you believe that? Now there is another piece in the Scum editorial. The Scum says, which is town goal. It's about the corruption in town halls, local councils. It's based on the taxpayers' allowance annual routine propaganda. Many of the fat cats, that is, overpaid council employees, in charge of our town halls, that is a short, that phrase town hall is meant to be a reference to English local councils, parish councils. Our town halls have presided over mind-bogglingly stupid schemes which have caused near bankruptcy of the local authorities they profess to run. Yet their salaries continue to soar, even as the level of service dished out to unfortunate residents plummets. These shocking reward for staggering failures cannot continue. Any local authority salary over £100,000 should be signed off by elected councillors. When things go wrong, there can then at least be some form of accountability. Well, trains banned effectively in Merseyside, in Liverpool area, because the scum lied about the Hillsborough massacre of the fans. And it blamed the fans for the massacre. has refused to account. Now, the council corruption and local council